Y'all have asked for updates, and I've taken way too long to give them to you. So today, we're going to go over what we've done to this and how we've made it better. That's right. This thing does look different. It's not a paint job. It's a whole new bike. The BBSO2 is still the same. The giant battery that everybody loves to hate is still the same, and other changes that I've made, and we'll go over those real quickly. The BBSO2 is still the same motor that I've been putting time on. The battery is still in the same place, just like everybody loved. I don't think everybody loved, but they misunderstand a lot of it. And so I'm going to try to explain it better. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments down there. And if you have questions, please let me know because I'd be happy to explain it to you. But anyways, it's a 52 volt, 19.5 amp hour battery. It has plenty of power for the longest rides you could ever want to go on. If I had a chance to do this over again, knowing what I know now, probably would go down to like probably even the 13 amp hour, could even 17, but something a little bit smaller. I still love this battery as far as how long I can ride, or I don't ride that long because I'm obviously fat and out of shape, but what I can do is ride as long as I want and not charge it for a couple of days each time. So that's kind of nice. Like I said, the bike is different. The bike is a Diamondback Arturo 2 or something 2. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace. I got a really good deal on it. I paid like $250. It was basically brand new. It went from the smaller wheel to the 27.5. It's got better tires. It's got somewhat better suspension. This shock is much better than the shock that was on there. The forks are not fluid filled. They're a spring filled fork. They don't have any kind of dampen whenever you rebound off something like coming off a jump. They just click on their way out, and that's going to be an upgrade I'm going to have to do. The other upgrade I did is because I have such a powerful little motor here with this 750 watt motor is, I think it's 750. I don't remember. I'll put it right here. Yep, that motor there. I went to shorter crank arms. These shorter crank arms, it's not needed to have the long crank arms when you have such power to help you to dig up hills or whatever. And 99% of the time, I'm just twisting the old throttle here anyways and not pedaling. So the pedal strikes are non-existent. I went with, like I said, a lot shorter crank arm, which is kind of nice. Push my feet a little closer together. One thing, like I kept saying, was I like to grab with this with my knees, and so I'm able to control the bike. So I like the shorter crank arms. It makes a big difference. The other bike was higher end but older technology. This is lower entry level but newer technology, newer design, and I do like that a lot better. The bike just rides better. The frame's a little bigger. Everything seems to fit me a lot better. So I'm happy with that. Like I said, I want to upgrade those forks. Maybe, I don't know. I don't ride it enough. I have got somewhere around under 100 miles on this setup, and that's not a lot for guys who ride all the time. I don't ride all the time. This is just for me to have fun on. I probably should ride more and pedal more, but anyways, I digress. The bike and the motor have been flawless. I went on a ride yesterday, and we were doing some distance testing on another bike, and that test, we went 17.5 miles, and I just dropped 1 bar. It was on the road. It was a lot of wide open, just seeing how many miles that other bike would go, and 17.5 miles, and this bike didn't care. This bike just was like, hey, I want to keep going. I need to get out there and see how long it'll go, but I mean, honestly, it lasts so long, riding it so long with this size of a battery. I just don't think it's a realistic, real-world test because nobody else is going to do this. But if you did this, you could easily probably go 40 or 50 miles without a charge if you're on the road. The trails eat it up a little quicker because you're just hard on the throttle coming up hills. And some things I've noticed is you definitely want to keep this motor spinning. The gauge has a little deal on it, tell you how much power. You don't really want to get into the red, but you use the gears, you keep it where that motor's spinning, and then if you feel it lugging down, I just start pedaling my fat little legs around, and just to get it back up and going. The motor does like to spin. I wouldn't mind torque sensing setup. Johnny Nerdout, which a link in his will be in the description to his page. He just did a review on a Phantom, I believe it was CYC Phantom. I'm thinking about trying that, maybe on another build. And that brings me to the final point. Was it worth it? Did I waste my money? Could I have bought an entry level for cheaper? Cheaper? No, I don't think so. I've looked into some that will get really good reviews and people like them. I've even contacted a couple of them to see if they wanted to even send me a used bike that I'll mail back to them. I just wanted to test it against an entry-level bike. I haven't heard back. Nothing. Those companies, I'm sure they're busy. But like I said, cheaper, yes. For a lot of people, it may not be better to do this. It may be better to buy a pre-built bike. Obviously, Mid Drive, they're going to run you anywhere from 16 at the cheapest of the cheap, but they're going to be closer to $2,000 when you really get something. If you're going to be riding all the time, if you're going to be on the street, if you're commuting, you can get one cheaper. But this one I'm riding the trails and stuff with, and like I said, you're going to be those real entry level ones that are worth buying are going to be close to $2,000. I beat that. I beat that substantially. The bike, $250. This kit was around $8. Put the shorter crank arms on it. I put the shift sensor on it, and I added a full-size throttle where the whole grip turns, not just a little deal. And so I'm probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,100, and I'm exceedingly happy. But there was work involved. I had to build this. I know this is the same color as the frame, but I had to build this bracket that mounts up under here to carry the battery. I had to do the wiring. I had reprogrammed the motor. There's a lot of websites online tell you how to change it. I programmed it to something more comfortable for me, so I had to buy a little adapter. But like seriously, if you aren't wanting, if you just want a bike, you want to just throw this on it, you know what I mean, and you already have the bike, then this is the way to go. If you have a bike that you really like and you just want to make it a little more rider friendly, you want to be able to ride longer, or you want to put a twist throttle and ride like how I am, buy this kit. Buy no bigger than the 17 amp hour battery, maybe the 13. For most people is going to be enough. If you're going to go from scratch and you don't have a bike, I would almost say, unless you really just want to build it yourself, I would almost say you may be better off buying one of the pre-built bikes for around $2,000 or just right under that mark. But I haven't ridden those, so I don't know if they have the type of power this has. I don't know if they have the longevity in their battery like one of these will have. The good thing about this is obviously I bought it as a kit, but you can buy these individual parts pretty easily online, and you can upgrade to that BBSO2 HD or BBSO HD, whatever it's called, the bigger motor, and get even more power. Would I do this again? Yes. I'm a tinkerer. Y'all watch my channel. I do a bunch of random stuff all the time. But if I didn't have the time for that, buying one of those pre-built bikes may be nice, because I still have probably a couple $100 minimum buying a front fork for this. So anyways, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you have more questions, just leave them in the comments. I do my best to answer. And I've got even more e-bike projects coming. So if you like this, then subscribe, because I've got another little bike we're testing now, and you'll see more of that coming up.